look at you two. Just, yeah, a duo that you wouldn't expect, but is pretty adorable. Somehow Lady Gaga can do that with a lot of people. She's very good at surprising the collaborations. Welcome back to Yes Everyone. Today we are talking about Love for Sale, the second collaborative jazz project between Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. I did listen to most, if not all, of their first collaborative album, Cheek to Cheek, and I remember enjoying it. I would have to give it an in-depth listen again in order to review it, but for now, we have this one, and there's a lot of elements to like here. Now, this album is basically a tribute to Cole Porter. All of the songs in this album have something to do with Cole Porter through his writing or something that he was involved in, whether it was for a jazz album or for a musical, something on stage, Broadway. He did something for every single one of these songs. Some of these songs I am slightly more new to, while others I am very familiar with, such as Night and Day and It's Still Lovely. Now, one thing that I do like to emphasize with jazz albums when I review them, especially when they're newer, is that I try to identify if their production is well balanced or not. It's something that modern jazz and modern pop music, and maybe a few other genres, but mostly those two, sometimes have trivial problems balancing, and I'm not sure why that is. I feel a little bit more strongly about this with jazz music in the modern age because sometimes I just don't understand what the production team is doing from time to time. It seems like something is always louder or just not balanced enough with everything else. And I feel that in this album, but only for like one or two of the songs in here. Thankfully, they pick it up and balance it out, and I'm happy again. However, I do notice sometimes in the album, Tony's voice is a little bit more quiet here, and I don't know if that's a him thing or a production situation. Now, a little interesting background note here. Tony Bennett, if you don't know already, is 95 years old at this point in 2021, and he actually recently was diagnosed with dementia. Now, this dementia is only affecting his short-term memory. He can remember things from way back when, and there's a part of me that just can't help but wonder if that affected any of the recording process here. I'm not necessarily explicitly saying that it dropped the quality. It just makes me wonder if there are perhaps a few very small moments where maybe it wasn't as well executed as maybe he would have preferred to have done. I really don't know. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be as sincere and kind about that as I potentially can. Tony is a legend. He's going to go down as an iconic legend if he isn't already. But there are moments where I just feel like Lady Gaga is just kind of overshadowing him in moments. And I'm just sort of curious if that had anything to do with it. But he has his moments to shine. Both of them get 2 solos in this album, and the one where he stands out the most is Just One of Those Things.
Just one of those things. It was just one of those nights.
Whatever he was doing that day in order to get ready to sing into that microphone, he was on his A game. I'm very pleased with the execution and what he does in this song. Along with a great guitar also. The style is hot club or gypsy jazz style. I really like that guitar style. That's something I wish I would learn how to play, actually. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon, but if I get to learn guitar at all at any point in the future, that's definitely one of the styles that I'm going to try out. Probably one of the songs that I knew the least about is the song I Concentrate on You.
Whenever skies look gray to me.
Pretty good back and forth between these two, and a very surprising flute that adds a little whimsicalness to it. The title track, Love for Sale, also is a good example of how well balanced everything is here.
He's prepared to pay the price. Love for sale.
Aside from the inconsistencies that I personally feel that I heard on the album, The only song on here that I get why it's a thing, but I feel like it's kind of a distraction, is the song Let's Do It. This is a song that was written for Cole Porter's first musical called Paris. I wonder if they called it Paris at that point. I don't know. And this is just kind of the jazzy version of being suggestive without being explicit. So it's not bad, it's just kind of funny, and I find it also ironic that it's Lady Gaga solo, so Tony Bennett's not in this song at all. I don't know, I just felt like I had to comment on it. It's just kind of a funny thing to put in there. But again, these are all things that Cole Porter was a part of. And again, this isn't a song that I'm like offended by. I just couldn't help but think that, that's what you're talking about. All right. So like I said before, I don't remember necessarily how I felt about the whole thing for the album Cheek to Cheek, but there's a part of me that thinks I probably like that one better. I'll have to go back and listen to it. This one, it's acceptable for what it is. I don't think any potential shortcomings that maybe Tony had in the middle of recording probably brought this album down further than I'm going to suggest it. It's enjoyable, and that's probably the most that I can really say about it. It's well done, but there are things about it that make me not love this as much as I do for other jazz albums. So, after having listened and reviewed this album, with the following grades in the following categories here, how would I recommend this album? I am going to give it a yeah/good. I really need to give props. Come on, 95 years old, Tony Bennett is still able to do this. That is artistry right there. That is a passion for the craft. 95 years old, still rocking it, and Lady Gaga being there as well, showing that she's got range in her artistry. She's got it too. She can surprise anyone and everyone in strange ways and in amazing ways. No matter how I feel or how I recommend a project like this, you have to respect the fact that two very different people got together and are able to collaborate on something like this. It is something fascinating and needs to be respected, at least in that regard. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want more Yes in your life, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment that'll make you say yes.
Just one of those fabulous flights